In 1846, the congregation of the Brothers of St. Patrick sailed from Ireland to Baltimore in the USA in order to lay the foundation for their first mission abroad. Hundreds of years later, a 28-year-old patrician brother from Cork, Colm OConnell, decided to travel to a different continent in search of new experiences.
Well, in 1975, there was the option for brothers to go to Los Angeles to teach. And I don't think America really attracted me. I wanted a place maybe that had a little bit more challenge, a bit more adventure. And I think, well, I suppose looking back on it now, I mean, people would have said, oh, you know, California would have been your dream. But now, of course, Kenya has become my dream.
After just 4 years at St. Patrick's School in the land he chose to start a new life, Colm OConnell, who had never been a competitive level athlete or trainer, suddenly found himself delving into a totally new activity.
I was in a boarding school for boys, and the boys were there 24/7 basically, and I wanted to, you know, do something for the students outside of class. And of course athletics was a sport that didn't require a lot of facilities. Many of the students, I was in an area where there was talent, and athletes had already distinguished themselves from the area. I just kind of learned the sport and had a passion for it when I saw the kids were responding to training, responding to the success, of course. And most of the competitions we did in the early years were fairly local. It wasn't until much later, when they began to run on the international scene, that I began to realize how really good they were.
In fact, some of those athletes showed a great deal of promise, and thanks to the fine-tuning of OConnell, they turned into elite athletes. Today, this unpretentious Irishman is coaching the extraordinary David Rudisha, the 800-metre world record holder and world and Olympic champion. OConnell can be very proud of having trained 25 world champions and 5 Olympic champions. However, despite the amount of experience he has accumulated, OConnell doesn't claim that such success stories are exclusively the result of his coaching ability.
You know, it's not all clearly documented or clearly, worked out as to what makes a great sports person. And I think I've been very lucky to have had somebody like David, who has really responded to my program, who has really given up his everything to become a successful athlete. I think maybe I just created the environment. I created the situation in which David felt very comfortable in training, and I think the way I relate to him, like for example, I involve him in his coaching program.
OConnell is convinced that a knack for spotting talent early on is often not enough, and it must be coupled with the ability to listen to the heart of an athlete to understand his or her psychology.
You can see a certain amount on the exterior. You know, first impressions can have an impact, but very often you have to dig a little bit deeper and go into what they think about it. Are they prepared for the long haul? Are they prepared to keep at it, push through disappointments and failures? Are they prepared to do the hard work, to reach the top? So with the initial eye you have for the sport, that's only a starting point. But there's a lot more to be done after that. When a young athlete comes to me, the impulse is always, as an experienced coach, to try to impose what you know about the sport, or saying, yes, I know exactly what to do to make you a success. For me, I reverse the process and I say, what is the young athlete bringing to me?